Are you having trouble choosing a profitable niche for your affiliate marketing business? Hey there, I'm Brady with brandbuilders.io, where we help you build the online business of your dreams. Today I want to talk to you about how to find a niche for affiliate marketing. These are the same tactics that we've used to build hundreds, if not at this point even thousands of affiliate marketing sites that run at a profit. Choosing a niche can be your biggest win or your biggest fail, and it's going to affect everything you do from this point on. If you choose a good niche, then affiliate marketing is going to be so much easier for you, and vice versa. If you choose a hard niche, then every single step of your business is going to be more difficult. So hit the like and subscribe buttons below and keep watching to the end to figure out how to choose a profitable niche every single time. So the first thing we need to do when choosing a niche is just brainstorm. And I want you to make a list here of just every single niche you can think about. And if you're not sure where to get ideas from, then what I recommend is first, think about what people need. Listen to what I call the language of need. So when people say like, it's so inconvenient when, or I wish that, whatever. It's so frustrating when, it's so annoying that, X or Y or Z. So first, listen to this language of need. Think, what do people need? And then make a list of niches off of that. And then you can also look back just across your purchase history. So go on Amazon, look at the last 3, 5, 10, 20 things that you bought. Those are all in niches. So first think about what do people need and what are people buying? And then once you have this list, start to think about related items and products. So maybe one thing on your list is like dog food. People need and buy dog food all the time. What's related to dog food? Okay, maybe dog beds. But then you can also get into like cat stuff. And then you can get into like, what if people keep raccoons as pets? Or what if people keep fish? Okay, so now we've got all of these different niches. One of those things is dog food. What about like healthy eating? What about working out from home? And nowadays, more people are working from home than ever. So what do those people need? Maybe like the home office niche. Well, if people are in the home office niche, then they're for sure going to need a comfortable chair. So we have the chair niche. And just make this list of ideas of related items. Kind of go down the rabbit trail. There's no way to have too many niche ideas. The only possible way this can turn into a negative for you is if you have analysis paralysis, which I'm going to show you how to overcome in a second, because we're going to get into the exact scorecard of how to score these niches. But first, I want you to make a list of all the niches you can think of. Listen to the language of need. See what the last few things you bought on Amazon or on Walmart or wherever are, and think of all the related niches you can. You want to get this list, say like 10 to 20 is a pretty sweet number. Not too many to overwhelm you or take too much of your time, but it's enough to really allow you to probably pick a pretty good niche somewhere in there. So now we have our list of 10 to 20 niches or however many. The first question we need to ask every single time with every single business is, where's my money? How am I going to monetize this thing? How am I going to get paid? Who's paying me as an affiliate? What product am I selling? So we need to ask the question of, what are people buying in this niche? And then how do I make money off of it? One thing I do recommend for most affiliate marketers is start in a niche that has a physical product. So if you're an expert affiliate marketer and you're just looking for some practical tips on choosing a niche, then you can disregard this. But if this is your first time or one of your first times and you haven't had any big successes yet, like 4+ figures per month, I'm going to say choose a niche with a physical product. So it doesn't have to be super broad like just dogs, and it doesn't have to be super specific like just dog food. You can choose, but choose a niche that has some kind of physical product that you can sell. These are often just easier to monetize. The keyword competition is often a lot lower. It's easier to find low competition keywords. And your whole journey is probably going to be easier if you start in a niche that has a physical product. So that's what I recommend for beginners. You can also think, how can I monetize this with ads later on? So one thing to consider is, can I run, say like Google AdSense in this niche, or am I going to have a different advertising partner? Now, 90+% of niches, your advertising stuff isn't going to be an option. It's going to be super easy to get ads on page, but it is one thing to consider. If you're in gambling or if you're in the adult industry or whatever, then you need to have this roadmap to begin with. How am I going to make my money? Okay, affiliate stuff. It's almost never a bad idea to diversify into selling ad space as well. And then I think a good late term strategy is to start selling your own products. So you need to ask yourself, is there room here for me to sell my own products? So if you're an affiliate for like Kleenex or someone, like, yeah, you can probably recommend their products and make a commission all day long. but you're going to have serious troubles if it ever comes to producing your own. Like, you cannot compete with Kleenex or whatever other brand name. So on your list of affiliate sites, I would go through and say, first, is there a physical product? If not, then cut that off. Is it possible for me to run ads on this niche? If not, then cut it off. And is there room for me to create my own product? Now, you don't have to get super deep into research here, but if the answer is an obvious no, if you're competing with someone like Kleenex, then don't worry about it. Just cut that niche off. And then since you're getting in this niche for affiliate marketing in particular, we need to ask ourselves, who are the top affiliates and what's going to be my affiliate commission? Is this a niche where I'm just getting like 1%? It's pretty tough to monetize a site that's just getting 1%. It's doable, don't get me wrong, but to make like $500 a month, you're going to have to sell $50,000 worth of stuff. Whereas if you're in a niche with 10%, you only have to sell, say, $5,000 worth of stuff, which is much more doable. So you need to ask yourself, like, not only where am I getting my money from, but how much money am I going to be making here? What's my affiliate commissions when I go in this space? Once we have our list a little bit filtered in terms of where's my money coming from and how many different ways can I monetize, it's time to start evaluating the competition in that niche. So one thing I like to look for here is I like to find big sites and small sites in any niche that I go into. That sounds a little counterintuitive to like, why in the world does he want me to compete against big sites? Well, anytime we see big sites, it just means that there is a very high ceiling in that niche. So if you're looking at your niche and you're seeing domain rating like 60 plus sites, don't worry about that. In fact, that can be a good thing. If you don't have those sites, and all that means is not necessarily bad, but it means that there might be a ceiling there. And that ceiling can be pretty high, even 4-5 figures per month. But the question I would ask is, why would someone choose a niche where their earnings are capped? Why would someone choose a niche where they know right off the bat, I'll never earn more than, say, $2,000 a month in this niche? And that's fine. You can do that and have a portfolio of sites, but I think there's no reason to cap yourself from the beginning. When you're looking at a niche, ask yourself, are there big sites in this niche too? If there are, that's awesome. That means that if there's a ceiling there at all, it's very, very high, probably in the 5 or even 6, maybe 7 figures per month range. So we want to see big sites in our niche, but we also want to see small sites. Now this one is pretty intuitive. When we see small sites, it means that there's room for our new small site to compete. What I define as a small site is any site with domain rating under 25. When we see these sites, it just tells us that we have room to be in the search results as well. And we can use these sites to check their keywords, to check their backlinks, and use them to kind of springboard our success. What keywords are they ranking for? If they're a small site, then there's a good chance that I can rank for those keywords as well. Where are their backlinks coming from? We can use that to reverse engineer our backlinking strategy. So we need to see big sites and small sites in the search engine results. If you don't see big sites, then that's okay. Just know that there might be a ceiling in that niche. But if you don't see small sites, then I would probably avoid that niche. That means you're going to have to write a ton of content, probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts, or build a ton of backlinks, maybe both, and your investment is going to be so much higher than if you picked a niche with several small sites. So we want to find big sites, we want to find small sites. The next thing we want to make sure is, are there easy to find keywords? Now I've got a really cool video on keyword research right here, and it's going to show you our process of finding easy to find keywords. You're going to need some kind of tool for this. I recommend a keyword research tool that allows you to see the search engine results at a glance. So the ones that I know that do this well are Ahrefs and KW Find. But I'm not up to date on all the most recent keyword research tools. So if you find one that allows you to see the search engine results page, then I would use that. What I don't recommend doing is looking at search volume or keyword difficulty and trusting those metrics to guide which keywords you should choose. You should be doing a manual search of all the keywords you find, and I promise it's just going to make your journey a whole lot easier. And once you've gone through your list of niches and you've said, okay, I know how I can monetize these ones, these are my highest probability as far as being monetized. Once you've gone through your niches and you've figured out like, okay, these are my top 3 as far as earnings potential. These are the few with big sites and small sites, and these are the ones with easy to find keywords. What you want to find is 1 or 2 niches that have all of those attributes together. And if your niche has great monetization potential, small and large sites, and it has very easy to find keywords, then that's really all you need. It's time to pick that niche and start producing content. But there are a few other considerations that you can think about to possibly make your journey a little bit more pleasant. And I think the first consideration we should be making thinking is, does this niche move fast? Now, technology is the big offender here. There's always a new iPhone or Samsung phone coming out. Like, what are they on, like iPhone 20 now? Like, I have no idea, because there's always new ones. There's so many new ones. I tend to recommend people avoid the more technology niche. Now, there are parts of technology that are okay. Say, speakers are fine. A lot of musical instruments are fine, but I do recommend avoiding like smartwatches, stuff like this that's always changing, that always has new products coming out. The reason for that is because we want our affiliate articles to last as long as possible. It's doable to exist in one of these niches and do super well with it, especially if you're pairing it with another business like FBA or drop shipping or whatever. But all things being equal, we should pick niches that have a long lifespan. So the example I use is like, my dad has a hatchet that I know for a fact he's had for like 2 decades now, which means that as far as hatchets go, it's probably not the best one, but it's still a very viable option. So pick niches that where the products last a long time, so you don't have to continually replace and redo your articles, and you always have articles that are becoming irrelevant. So avoid that niche if you can. Another thing to ask ourselves is it seasonal? Now, there's nothing wrong with seasonal niches. One of my mentors, Spencer Hawes, his Niche Pursuits. You can check out Niche Pursuits. It's awesome. He has been doing a case study for the past couple of years with Niche Site Project 4, he calls it. And it's in the outdoors niche. And you can see during the summer, his earnings just skyrocket. During the winter, they kind of take a little dip. Now, there's nothing wrong with a seasonal niche. You're going to earn the same year over year, but month to month, your earnings are going to vary quite a lot more. And you can expect at least 3 months out of the year, your earnings are going to be quite a bit lower. Now, that's not a problem for some people, especially like if you have a portfolio of sites, no big deal. Or if you just have one niche that you love, then don't let this stop you or bother you. But if you're like me and not particularly in love with any one niche, then I would probably avoid a seasonal niche. Which brings us to our last point. If you are in love with a niche, then you should consider going into that niche. And vice versa, if you hate a niche, just despise it, then I recommend you avoid it. Because the number one reason people fail in affiliate marketing, the number one reason people fail in online business, is not because it's super crazy difficult. It's not because it's super crazy complex. It's because they give up. It's because they get to month 3 and they're saying like, hey, I haven't earned enough to replace my job income yet. This doesn't work. And then they quit. So if you find a niche that inspires you, that gives you hope, that gives you confidence, that makes you excited, then you should factor that into your niche consideration. That's important and it matters. And when you find the niche you like, you're much more likely to stick with it. Vice versa, if you have a niche that checks all of the boxes, but you just despise the niche, then don't go with that. Just leave it. Just leave it on the back burner for now. There's no reason you should go in a niche you hate. You don't have to love the niche, but you should never dislike and you should never hate the niche, because it's going to make it that much easier for you to quit 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road. So brainstorm your niche ideas, ask how you're going to monetize it, find big and small sites, get easy to find keywords, ask yourself, is it seasonal? Does it move fast? And do I even like the niche? And if you can find one that has favorable answers to all of those above, then that's the niche that I would go with. It is worth spending quite a bit of time on your niche selection, but don't get bogged down in analysis paralysis. I say go through 10, 20 niches, find the best one, and then go with that one. There's no reason to continue thinking that there's always a better niche out there, because the best niche for you is going to be the one that causes you to take action. Leave me a comment below letting me know how your niche selection process is going. Thanks, and have a great day.